I mean, everything started back in, well, some of us say that it was the very end of 95. I claim it was the very beginning of 96. When we started the band, and we started the band as Inferior Breed, and then we released one demo. Released. I mean, it was passed around among our friends, and then we changed our name to Soilwork because we felt that Inferior Breed just sounded too generic death metal. And we started working on another demo. In Dreams We Fall Into the Eternal Lake, and we recorded that at the high school that we were going to, and that demo got us signed. First of all, it was actually passed through Mike Amott, who was working at a record store in Helsingborg. And so we saw him there, and we gave him our new demo, and he said, well, I can pass it on to two labels that I know, and that was Listenable Records and War Music. Both of them liked it, believe it or not, but I guess Listenable Records was a little bit faster. So we signed with Listenable Records, and that must have been in 97, and then our dream was to record our album in Studio Fredman in Gothenburg, the classic studio. Luckily, we got a budget big enough to be in Studio Fredman for, I think we were there for like 2 weeks recording Steelbath Suicide. So that was quite a surreal moment, entering the classic Studio Fredman. I think this must have been in the beginning of 98. We were there for 2 weeks, and Frederick showed up half of the time. Some days he didn't show up at all. But he was quite a clown, and we had so much fun with him, and it was just as much drinking as recording. But somehow we managed to put that whole album together in 2 weeks. And nowadays you just like, how did we do that? Maybe we were not as picky, or, but it was an interesting recording, and, I can't believe it's been that long ago. It's just crazy, the whole thing, and turned out to be a pretty cool album, I would say. And when I'm listening today, it sounds, it has its charm, I guess. And I would say that some of those songs, even though we haven't really done any songs from that album in a while, but maybe we'd have to pick it up again. But some of those songs, I think, work out live still. But as far as the recording, has its charm. But yeah, it just, you can really feel that you were very young when you recorded that album. But I look back at it with a smile, for sure. I mean, a Sadistic Lullaby is a great opener, I would say, and then we have the ending song, Aardvark Trail, has a great melody, and that was also a great live song, I think. Well, the title track, Steelbath Suicide, which I believe was called Leather and Anguish at first. We later changed that. I remember still to this day, when we put that song together, and I remember I got so much goosebumps, in the rehearsal room. This is like, I just love the mix between like kind of melodic death metal mixed with classic heavy metal in that song. So I guess those are the three. The first tour that we ever did was in what do you call those? Like a house van? What do you call them? A Winnebago? No, caravan. Yeah, I mean it was yeah, exactly. We crammed ourselves into that thing and drove through Europe, and we were opening for the Brazilian death metal band Krisiun. Super nice guys. Super scary looking. I believe I think a singer had like a Rambo knife in his boot. It's like wow. Well, they're from Sao Paulo, you know, so it's a bit of a different story there. So we went through Europe. I believe it was like 2-week tours. It was not like a full month, but we played some interesting places on that tour. I think, you know, we played everything from like a living room, you know, at somebody's house to a kind of like a bistro in France, and they thought it was like owned by 3 old ladies and who thought they booked like a Brazilian samba band. It showed up to be a death metal band. And when we came there, it's like, oh, so you need a PA? It's like, yeah, oh, I know somebody who has a PA. So they had to rent a PA. And so the actual show happened in the end. So there was some interesting stuff on that tour. And we all got very sick because we shared this little, you know, camper and it was winter time. And I think we had to cancel, I think, the 2 last shows or something because our drummer got really sick. But it was a good time, for sure. Oh, there's actually another funny part. I remember it was this German show, and I'm in like full outfit with these, what do you call it, the pyramid studs, you know, things on, and yeah, like the stage clothes on, and I'm backstage doing copies of the set list when I hear the intro running. I'm standing there with my pilot's like mirror pilot sunglasses, and I was like standing there copying things. And I hear the intro running, and I was like, "Holy hell, I need to run!" So I come running through the crowd with the set list, and I just dropped them on the ground and grabbed the mic in the very last second. That was really funny. I remember that.